Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryne, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of Inglourious Basterds from 2009. Yes, we are watching Quentin Tarantino's World War II action flick, Inglourious Basterds. Now, this movie has a stacked cast. Let me run down the stacked cast before I get with my thoughts with the film. And I want to talk about the other studio that distributed it because I'm going to let that very quick. And I'm going to let that sink in. So the movie, talk about stack cast. We got Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, Michael Fassbender, Eli Roth, Diane Kruger, Daniel Brahe, Ty Schwartzkopf, and Melanie Laurendry. She's a French, sorry for the twitch there. She was a French actress. It also guest stars Auguste Delay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Julia Dreyfus, Sylvester Goff, Jack Uden, I'm hoping I pronounced that right, Denny Mackin, Mike Myers, which is odd. I'll talk about that in the review. Martin Wittkey. So that's the cast in this. It's written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, as I said, and yes, it's actually also distributed by the Weinstein Company. Yes, Bob and Harvey Weinstein produced this movie. Now I'm going to talk about my feelings about Harvey Weinstein only once. I'm going to let this slide. Harvey Weinstein is one of the worst human beings on the planet. The guy is an animal monster and should be locked up. So I want to kind of lay that out, but most of Tarantino's movies were distributed by the Weinstein Company because Tarantino had connections with the two men. So that's my quick thought on Harvey Weinstein. So I want to let you know, guys, don't comment on why I watch a Weinstein Company movie or even a Miramax movie, for all I know. Now I got away, let's actually talk about the movie. Now, Inglourious Basterds, as I said before, is a Quentin Tarantino film, and this is a World War II film done right. When I reviewed Yanks on Memorial Day, this is what Yanks should have been about. Well, not to compare Yanks, because the problem with that movie was it was a melodrama trying to be a World War II film. This is an action film telling the story of World War II, but also telling the story between some of the soldiers. That's Brad Pitt, Eli Roth, and Ty Schwartzkopf. Also, this also has, he's not credited on there, but also has B.J. Novak as well, the actor from The Office, who also guest starred on an episode of Arthur. So he plays Pitt's assistant. So, beginning of the movie, I'll kind of read what the back says. So, it says, Brad Pitt takes no prisoners in Quentin Tarantino's high-octane World War II WW2 Revenge, which is World War II, that's the abbreviation. Revenge fantasy, Inglourious Basterds, as a war rage in Europe. The Basterds, that's Pitt and his men, are called the Basterds. Supposedly this is inspired by a 1978 film, The Inglourious Basterds, which was a 1978 Italian film, I do believe. And yeah, is on a mission to take down the leader of the Third Reich, busting with action, hair-tugging, suspense, and machine gun spraying of a killer's dialogue. So Peter Travers liked the movie, and Rex Reed actually liked the movie. So those are two critics on the back that liked this movie. I love the movie. So right off the bat, we get Christoph Waltz, who plays the leader of the SS. So he meets up, right at the beginning, he meets up with a family, with a Jewish family, and he's trying to bribe the guy. It starts out with them speaking French. It starts out in 1942, and he meets a man, he shakes his hand, and he speaks French, but he also speaks English, and he explains about how he bribed the guy into finding out who it is. So we see a little girl running away from Christoph Waltz, that little girl grows up to be portrayed by, yeah, Melandra Lannard. Her name was Shusha Anna. It says on the back of DVD. So after that, it starts out in the whole movie's in chapters. So there are 5 chapters in total through the film. The movie does not have 5 chapters. There's 20 chapters in the movie and 5 chapters in the film. So it starts out with chapter 1. Enter chapter 2, we see Brad Pitt getting these guys. He's like the main sergeant. So he's speaking in code saying, Nazis, let's kill Nazis. And he's all excited to do that. Hit! He's like that, and he's telling his men. Eli Roth is his right-hand man. He's the guy who basically is the assistant to Pitt's character, I believe. Yeah, Arlo Raines, I think his character's name. It doesn't say on the back of the DVD, but yeah, if I remember, it's Arlo Raines. So Arlo Raines is, like I said, he's the main captain. He leads, well, the Basterds. And their job is to get rid of Nazi scum off this planet. So right then we get scenes where we see Hitler, who's talking to this other guy about trying to figure out something. So then we go to Hugo Stranger, Ty Schwartzkopf's character, who is like the third. They hire him. So basically now they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the men are now on the hunt down for the Nazis and trying to find out. Enter Diane Kruger, who plays a woman who meets up with the half the men, and pretty much she is there. She speaks French the whole way, so she sets up the signs and everything like that. So we now, like I said, cut to that, and her parents were killed by, well, Nazis. So now it's on a mission to try to take out Nazis. Most of the time it's in the theater, and yeah, we get Michael Fassbender, who's sort of like, he gets hired by none other than Mike Myers. Yeah, I want to talk about that. If I had one complaint of the movie, it's Mike Myers. I don't understand why he's in the movie. He's only in it for about maybe one scene, and that's it. He leaves. You could have removed Mike Myers out, and the movie would have been a little better. But yeah, performance aside, it's not too bad. It's just my personal nitpick. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. It's just my personal nitpick that he's kind of just there to be, well, there. And he basically is trying to figure out what's going on. So now the 3 men, sorry about that, guy. Excuse me. Just a little bit of a sore nose. So basically now, sorry about it, guys. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry about that, guys, again. Let's just go with the flow. Just ignore what I did. But yeah, and basically that sums it up about it. And let's talk about how great this movie is. Tarantino's style when making a World War II film is just really, it's just really, really fun. And I really like this movie. I think for a film like that, I think Tarantino's style and directing is a ton of fun. Let's also talk about Christoph Waltz. He plays the leader of the SS. Literally, he is a complete and total dirtbag. This guy is extremely slimy. He, at the beginning, convinces these 2 people, as I said, this whole family. So he's telling the family that he would like a glass of milk. So now he speaks to them, and now he sends his men in to start attacking. So he attacks. Then we get to Diane Kruger, who is saved. She almost gets killed, but all of a sudden, I'm not going to give away much of the movie, but right off the bat, he meets up with Christoph Waltz, the leader of the SS, and basically now he tells about the shoe doesn't fit, it fits, something like that. I forget what quote they said. So you know what he does? He jumps in, strangles Kruger's character, insta-killing her. And literally now he's saying, he's speaking, I believe, German. Oh, yeah, he was speaking German, not French, but he's speaking German, says, there's a guy downstairs with a white jacket. So now the Nazis arrest him along with Novak. Novak plays his assistant. So now Waltz is trying to bribe him into saying, if you gentlemen want to win the war, you're going to have to follow my rules. Basically, you're going to have to play by my books. So that's really that. So I'm getting ahead of myself. It is amazing. This is a true example of how you make a film. Quentin Tarantino, talk about director, and what made it cool was he went old school by adding the old school Universal logo when the film begins. So that's cool. The trailer shows the modern Universal logo, the 2009 logo. But wow, it says a Universal picture. So that always makes me smile. Eli Roth did that before with The House with the Clock in its Walls. He added the E.T. variant logo in his movie that he directed, which is a movie I did cover on the channel. Oh, I was mentioning about Eli Roth's performance. He's fine. I actually personally think he's a better actor than the director. His character is so much fun. Right off the bat, he talks to this one soldier. So he gets all mad. He goes nuts and kills a guy with a baseball bat. And he goes ape crap. So basically, yeah. Hang on again, guys. I hope I don't have to do that anymore. I do apologize. I just have a little bit of sniffles. So, yes, he is just amazing. Though there's another scene in the movie where they play David Bowie's Cat People. I forget. I think it's called Been So Long. Put a Rain on Gasoline. Putting out the fire with gasoline. That's from Cat People. I don't know if that's more of a studio joke. Studio joke. But the scene alone where the one girl, she's putting on red paint like that. She's like doing this. She's putting on lipstick and then she's like, puts like some red paint, puts it right there. And then she puts some fishnet. And then she's walking. And they're panning down. And the shot right there is extremely wonderful. The cinematography. Trying to think who else did this. Visual effects. Give props to visual effects guy. He's just solid. Everything about the movie is just great. Might be missing a few things. But as I said before, this is a movie that Yank should have been. Oh, I want to talk about the short film, the special feature called National Pride. Now, I did rate that short film, and it's nothing special. Eli Roth directed that short film. So he did direct that little short film, which also had Bo Severson. And I did rate that short film, so if you want to see what I rated it, go right ahead. You can check that out by going to my Letterboxd page. But I think I already mentioned everything. It's just, Brad Pitt is so good in this. All these are like top tier. Christoph Waltz did win the Oscar, and I think Tarantino did win for directing. Maybe one for writing, I don't remember. But I know Christoph Waltz won this. Tarantino would use him again in Django Unchained, or as I like to call it, Django Unchained. So he won the Oscar for that. He won the Oscar for Inglourious Basterds, and well said. This is another great performance, but I think Pitt is so much fun. The cast is just great. Aside from Mike Myers being my only problem with the movie, this movie is a masterpiece. I'm trying to think of anything else about the movie that I like. Is there anything I can say that I would say this is a classic? I don't know. There are some gross out moments, like when they're cutting some scalps off. It can kind of gross you out. When they're putting swastika on people's foreheads, on the soldiers' foreheads, that got a little too gross. But at the end of the day, this movie is a masterpiece. It's become my new favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. And I'm going to tell you this, guys. If you had to pick one war film to watch this year for Memorial Day, do yourself a favor, guys. Check out Inglourious Basterds. it is definitely one of my favorite movies, and is actually officially qualified in the best list. Going to be in my year's best list. The performances are great. I was kind of bummed that Diane Kruger, who's always great, she is phenomenal in this. I did cover a movie called The 355 on my channel. She was in this movie, as said Eli Roth. I covered a movie he directed on the channel, House with the Clock on its Walls. So you can check that review out if you want to. But, wow. So good. Oh, I forgot to mention Daniel Braugh's character. He was an actor, but he also is another soldier. He's another soldier in the movie. And there's the movie theater scene. I'm not going to tell you how it came down to, but the movie theater scene is just gorgeous. From the set designs to everything about the movie is just top tier, S tier film. I cannot stress this enough. If you've not seen Inglourious Basterds, I might have missed a few things, but please, do yourself a favor. Please check this movie out. This movie is a masterpiece. I loved everything about Inglourious Basterds. From the performances, I actually think some of these should have got Oscar nominations. Should have got at least some more Oscars. Brad Pitt, Tarantino would direct again in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, did win the Best Actor for that movie. But I think compared to that, I think his performance in Inglorious is a much better performance. But yeah, I would say if you do want to check out the short film, it is in the bonus features on. This is a double disc. I had the original release and upgrade to a double disc. I actually had this for a while now. I think I had this around 2015, 2016. At a little known place called Simply Put, which was a place in Juniata. It doesn't exist anymore, but I like keeping the sticker on there. Kind of cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, check the film out. It's a must watch. So let's go ahead and rate this movie right now. I'm going to give Inglourious Basterds, you probably already know this, guys, it is going to get an automatic 5 out of 5. It is so good. It was really tough to say that I was going to give it a 4 out of 5, but I figured in situations like that, I thought a 5 out of 5 is probably the perfect rating for this, despite Mike Myers' performance, but that doesn't hinder. You could have took him out of the movie, and this movie still would have been a masterpiece. Quentin Tarantino, just what a director. I love Tarantino as a director. I think personally his movies are fun. I mean, this is probably right there like Kill Bill, or even Django, or The Hateful Eight. He is so good at directing movies, and his love for film really shows that in a movie. This is a true example of how you do a World War II film. This is sort of like, as I said before, this is what Yanks should have been. And then that was my biggest problem. Why couldn't Yanks be a lot like Inglourious Basterds? I don't know. We may never know. But as it stands, this is a great movie. So, I'm rambling. Check out Inglourious Basterds. Definitely worth the watch, guys. Do not sleep on this movie. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you think about it, okay? Did you guys like it? Did you thought the movie sucked? Let me know in the comments, guys, about this movie, though, of how great this is. And I hope Quentin Tarantino makes another Universal movie, because if he does, I sure will be watching it for the channel. So that's my review of Inglourious Basterds. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the content on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a Universal video on the channel. I'm also on Letterboxd, guys, so you guys can swing over there. Check out the stuff I post on there. I rate the movies before I review it. You might see this movie tonight. You might see this review up tonight or tomorrow. It just depends whenever I get done with making this video. So, I think it's about it. Oh, Rod Taylor was Winston Churchill. I forgot to tell you that. So, yeah, just check out Inglourious Basterds. You will not be disappointed. So, yeah. And that's it, guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.